All right, so I have one other issue too. What you'll notice is that if you look over here, you can see right here is where the camera is, and you can see it's spawning way up high, like way up here, which is fine, but it's not, because you'll see as it comes down, it disappears. All the elements basically disappear right around this spot when I wanted to go off screen. So the reason why, I'm going to double click the background here. Oop, it popped up. Is because basically the spawn position is -3 and then +7, which is right here, and then 0, 7, and +3 and 7. The problem is that, like, that's fine, that's where I want it to be, but there's animation on those elements. So what it does is it's spawning here, but the animation then starts from up here. If I spawn it at 0, the animation will start up where I want. It's just a screw up by me. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my 7s here and make them 0s. And that will actually fix this. So I'm going to save that. And I'm also going to go ahead and do, I think it's game controller is the other one. Hang on a second. Let's see. I think this one spawns. Yep. I'm going to take this and also make this 0s. And then that will make it so they won't spawn too high. Alright, so let's hit play. And theoretically, so right here is my line. Yep, and it starts right outside of it. There he starts. Good. So that all works pretty well. Okay, good. So now we are good on that. And there's my guys, and everything's fine dandy. Alright, so lastly, what I'm going to do is basically make the other scene. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to file. We're going to do new scene. And I'm going to do file, save scene. And we are going to save it into scenes. And we're going to call this start, because it's our start screen. Okay. And I will create UI. And I am just going to do an image. There it is right there. I'm going to click on here, hold Alt and Shift. Click here to make it centered. And then the width is going to be 1024 by 1024, because that is the resolution of my screen, or of my game. And I'm going to take the color and I'm going to bring it down to like a mid-gray. Now here's the thing. It'd be better if you had your own image and you had like a nice thing. I just am lazy because I have like 12 million of these to do. So if you can make a custom one, that would be even better. But for now, I'm just going to put that in the background. Now I'm going to go to Canvas, we're going to Game Object, UI, and then we are going to go ahead and do a button. And I'm going to click on this, and again I'm going to go to the middle. And I am going to go position Y, bring it up a little bit. We'll try like 50, we'll say. And I'm going to take my height, and I will make that 50. And I'm going to take the rest of that's fine. I am going to go in the element under, actually we'll rename this start button, start _ BTN, and I'm just gonna take this and write start. I'm gonna click on this, and we already uploaded the other stuff before, so I'm just gonna go ahead and double click on bold. So there's start, and we will make this 24. That's good enough. And that looks good. Make sure it's centered. That's all fine and dandy. I'm pretty okay with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this, Control D, and we're gonna call this one not start button but quit button, quit. And I'll go to the element underneath it, and I'm gonna call this one, we'll just change this to quit. Oops, good. And I'm going to take this, and we are going to do -50. There we go. So one's above and one's below. Now on this element, I'm going to go ahead and I don't have a function quite yet, so or a command to be executed. So I'm going to create a new JavaScript, and we'll just call it start. Start quit script. And I will double click on it. It's going to pop up here, and we don't need either one of these, so it's going to be function. We're going to call it start game. and it's just going to be application.loadLevel, and the level I want it to load is going to be main, because that's what we named that level. Oops. And we're also going to do another function called quit game, and that is going to look somewhat similar. And it's going to be application.quit, and there are no arguments. And there we go. Control S. All right, and I'm going to make a new object, and we will just call it. I'm just going to call this one game controller, just even though we'll have ones later. Controller. And on this, I'm going to grab the start quit screen and plop it on there. Beautiful. Now, what I'm going to do is on here, on my start button, I'm going to go ahead and add the game controller object. Bam. And we will go to start quit script because that's attached to my game controller. And this is start, so it's going to be start game. Beauteous. Take this one, and we will go ahead and hit the plus, and I'm going to drag my game controller script onto it. And again, it's the start quit, and I'm going to go quit game. Bam. So beautiful. All right. So now one will start and one will end. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I already saved it. Good. And what I'm going to do is go to File, Build Settings. And we are... Oh, I don't have anything in the build. Okay. Well, we'll just go ahead and do that. So File, Build Settings. I'm going to add Open Scene. And close out of this. I'm going to go to my scenes. And we're going to go to Scenes here. Double click on Start, or double click on Main. And I'm again going to go File, Build Settings. And I'm going to add Open Scene. So go Start, then this. You can just click and drag and put one in front of the other, but start then main. It's almost like scenes in a movie. You're gonna go right down the line. I'm just gonna exit out of that, and I'm gonna double click on start. Fantabulous. And now if I hit play and I hit start, it will start my game, which is awesome. Okay, awesome sauce. So I'm gonna go back to main, and we have the score here. So we're gonna be like, yay! Control S. Now, last thing I need to do basically is a kill condition. Okay, so what I want to do is underneath my canvas, besides the score, I'm going to make another create, let's see, UI, and it's going to be text. And we're just going to say final score. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll say final score for now. That'll be good. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it so that final score, we're going to click on here, Alt and Shift, bam, and we will make this like, I don't know, 72. Make it really big. And I'm going to take my height and we'll make it 80 to make sure it's bigger. And we will do, let's say, 300, and it will be centered. And I'll make sure it's the font that I want. And we will do, that's weird, let's do bold then. I don't really understand what just happened there. Let's do 500. Let's try 100. Okay, apparently it was a little bit more than what that was. Okay, so new text. Great. Okay, so that'll be the final score, and that's what I'm going to send to when I get to it. So go ahead and save this. Okay, now let's go to Assets, Scripts, and let's get it done. So we have the player controller script, I think is the one that keeps, which one keeps track of the score? Game controller, no. It's not game controller, player controller. Shoot script. Yeah, it's the shoot script. Okay. So I'm going to have this constantly update this as well. So I'm going to go to shoot script, and we're going to open that up again. And just like we did with the other stuff, I am going to add the same element. So I'm going to do a variable, and we'll call this final score. Oops, we'll lowercase this. Delete final score script. and I haven't made this yet, but I'll call it final score script. Actually, we'll call it, I'm going to call it end game. End game. And that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it end game script, because this is basically what's going to happen when the game ends. End game script. End game script, and it's going to be of the type end game script. Beauteous. So, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to, well, we actually found this here. So, because I'm going to attach it to the game controller anyway, I can actually just go ahead and do end game script and set that equal to game controller dot get component dot, and I'm going to call it end game script. So it's going to store that script, even though I haven't made it yet, into there, because I know I will need it. And that is good. And then what I'm also do here is I am going to go ahead and do a end game script, end game script dot we'll call it add to score, just like the other one, add to score. So basically it'll do the same thing, but it'll do it to this new script I'm going to make. Okay. And it's probably going to be some crap because, yeah, there's no end game script. So I'm going to go ahead and make that script. Let's go ahead and create JavaScript, and we're going to call it end game script. And I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to drop this onto game controller. Please fix compile errors. Add to score is not a member. Let's see. Let's see what makes it so upset. End game script. View component, end game script. Add to score. Let's just do that. See if that makes it happier or not. Just ignore it for now. Okay. We'll figure it out later. So I'm going to take the, where are you, end game script. I'm going to drop that onto game controller. Good, that's on there. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And we will make a function basically the same as, where are you, add to score. So I'm just going to copy this, Control C and Control V. And I'm going to copy this as well, Control C and Control V. So basically it will have a function called add to score. The score initially is going to be 0, and it's going to store the text, and it's going to add to it each time. Okay, so every time that thing gets done, it's going to also add a score to this besides the other element. I'm going to go ahead and save this, and we will get to it. Okay. All right. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go to shot script here. Double click on that. That should open up here. And you'll see we have a bunch of stuff. Yay, yay, yay. And then we have a function on trigger enter. So basically when, and this is that little guy that shoots out, my bullet basically. And it says if the other player, if the other tag that it hits is player, it destroys it. But I'm also going to have it do this. I'm going to actually have to do this here. So we'll do, so if it's this, it's also going to do something besides that. So it's actually going to be kind of similar to, let's see, where are you? Where are you? Oh, I can't find any of the elements I'm looking for. It's going to feel like the other one where it basically makes a variable. Ugh. Okay. We will do it on the next video.